I do not. Jeremy's all set to go, yeah, Jeremy's all set to go, but we can ask those numbers. Do you have all of them?
Want to call the order to joint O&M committee. I need a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
Make the motion.
Etna, that's good, thank you. Mr. Dickinson, second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Evan, you want to do the action agenda here?
Yeah, there's nothing under action agenda items or new business. We do have a referral pending item, which is the deteriorating wall at the Tiki Resort. I can't speak to that. Nothing's taken place with that as of this time.
All right. How about other information to discuss?
I think I will turn most of this over to the mayor. The one thing that we had the mayors do was, and this was something I talked about earlier at DPW, is they had reached out to vendors regarding upkeep and maintenance of the lawn on the Charles R. Wood Park. We contacted probably 4 or 5 different vendors. Turf Management was the only one that came back with a price for us. I have since had discussions with the owner of Turf Management, saying that if we have less events this year, some of those items need to be completed. And right now we have a contract with them to do, or it had initiated, the village did initiate a contract for them to do some of the work. But some of that work that they do, like deep tining and such in the fall, may not occur this year based on whether the revenue projections are down or if we're not using the facility, so we don't have to do that type of work. We're not having as many events at the facility. And that's all I have, and I'll turn it over to Mayor Blaze.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, we have 2 applications for use at Wood Park now. One is the Americade, which is changed their dates to July 17th through the 27th. And the other application is a new one, and that is for the Lake George Music Festival to use Wood Park from the 20th to the 23rd of August. The Lake George Music Festival is the classic festival that takes place over 2 weeks usually in Lake George. Young people come from all over the world to perform. It's a very extremely popular festival, and he's looking to relocate the entire 2-week festival into 3 days at Wood Park because of the current COVID-19 regulations. And that's what I need to ask the committee today. I've had other folks interested in using Wood Park since the governor has approved drive-in movies. Alex Lombard, the owner of the music festival, is proposing to do exactly that. He's proposing to have people arrive in vehicles, stay in their vehicles to listen to the performance. They would only exit their vehicles to go to the restrooms. There'd be no food provided on the premises. The music would be given to them by a public, not only a sound system on the property, but also he's made a deal with the local AM radio station so they could listen to the performances. I also have a church group actually that's interested in using it Sunday mornings for exactly the same way, arriving in vehicles. We would park the vehicles, spacing them appropriately, and then the congregation would listen to the minister. So if the board, if our committee approves that concept, we probably will have more applications coming up during the month of August. There's at least 2 concert people that would like to do a small concert and limit it to just people. Basically, we'd be operating a drive-in movie, but they'd be doing church services and music, obviously.
Sounds good.
Anybody have any questions? How many cars can we get in there, Mr. Mayor?
Well, we've done a survey with the stage in place. Depending upon the way they want to set it up, we can put about 125 cars inside the perimeter of the fence, and then of course I would imagine if they're going to do the concert on the AM radio station, there's going to be some people out in the county parking lot as well. But I think we'll have an attendant on duty so he can limit the number of people that go into the restrooms. Both of these, the first 2 events, Americade and the Music Fest, of course, you're looking forward to paying the reduced fee, which was $750 a day. The church group will be submitting their application, but I told them I would present it today. My suggestion they're only going to be using it for 1 hour. I suspect we might have some more churches that might use it after they do, but my suggestion would be to charge them $250 for the 1 hour church service. They're not using any stage or anything, just having the cars drive in. We have these little flags that we mark the sprinkler system, which isn't impacted at all by the vehicles, but we intend to put those out so that when they pull in, they would be pulling up to those little flags so we can space them out appropriately, and they would not be permitted to get out of their vehicles while the service or the festival was going on, except to go to the restrooms. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Well, I'm glad somebody wants to use the space.
It'd be interesting.
How long will the church, would this be every Sunday for a while or just one-time deal or?
They would like to use it perhaps through the summer, with the exception of the weekends, obviously, that it's already booked. So I would imagine they would start a week from this Sunday, and then they would not be able to use it, obviously, during the Americade. And although that would be a real challenge. And then they would use it through August, but it is already, again, rented with would be rented with the music festival, and then Labor Day weekend, and then the car show is already taking it. If the drive-in concept meets our committee's approval, I would anticipate that there's an opportunity to rent it in September as well to some other groups, including the Lake George Jazz Festival.
I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't know what anybody else says, but I do have one question for you or Mr. Hago. Do you feel it's safe for the turf? To have all those cars on the turf every weekend?
Well, the before the turf was put in, there's a grid underneath the surface of the grass that we put in purposely to support large vehicles. And as you may know, we've had the tow truck show in there. We've had Americade in there and all those other groups. The tow truck shows, of course, were huge vehicles. We've had fire trucks in there, and according to the folks that built it, we built it for vehicles. And of course, you know, we've had the Adirondack National Car Show there every single year with hundreds of vehicles in there as well. So yeah, that should be no problem, no problem at all.
All right, that sounds good. Anybody else have any questions, Mr. Mayor? Well, somebody like to make a motion to move forward on these new programs? Dennis, you want to make that motion?
I'll make that
I'll
motion.
second the motion.
No, okay, we got a
Mhm.
second.
Good idea.
We got a question, Mr. McGowan?
No, I just want to compliment the mayor on presenting that today. This is what we have to do as a team is, you know, hey, every little bit counts. So thank you very much. And like I said, I hope that we're all working forward to pulling our county together and getting it back strong again. So I'm very pleased.
All right, any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's passed. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Very good job.
That's all I have.
Good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kevin, how about the contract for the turf management? You mentioned that already, right?
Yes, that was mentioned. The last thing I had on there, and we spoke about this a little bit earlier in DPW meeting, is the opening of the park facilities. As you all aware, when this all started, we basically closed down the Charles R. Wood Park. Although we've got snow fence around it, the snow fence has been a continuous maintenance issue day in and day out between our staff and actually the village staff and even the town staff has gone over there and put the fencing back up. I have my guys go every morning, they zip tie it up, and every afternoon the skateboarders rip the fence back down and go in and use the skateboard park. We've tried to keep them out of there, but to no avail, they continue to get in there. I'm not sure, and I guess I'm going to pose this question to Ryan. Do we continue to keep that park closed, or do we say, okay, we open up, but people have to follow that social distancing?
Can you hear me?
That's fine.
Everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
So the parks are under the pause order. I'll read from the pause order. This is essential recreation. Essential recreation includes parks and other open public spaces, except playgrounds and other areas of congregation where social distancing cannot be abided. So as long as you can abide by social distancing, if people are wearing their masks, we'd be able to open a park.
Yeah, I think that's the issue we were having. I don't think there's an issue with people that were walking through that park using it. I think the issue comes with the skateboarders. And Mayor, you can jump in on this, but I mean, Friday night I went by there and there's 30 kids out there skateboarding and not one of them is wearing a mask.
Yeah, it's been somewhat of a problem, Kevin. We had some skateboarders there yesterday that we talked to, and there was 3 of them, and they did social distance, but they're not wearing masks. I think we should open I forgot about this, but we have barricades also, Kevin, at each end of the county parking lot. And my suggestion would be, because of the weekend coming up and the fact that those parking lots have been packed every weekend, the county should install the pay stations, and we're ready to obviously maintain them so that you'll get some revenue this weekend. And open up the county parking lot at the very least. But if we're going to put an attendant on part of the time, I would suggest that we make an attempt to monitor the skate park as best we can. We're going to have our meter enforcement people working that area as well, and I just think that it doesn't present a good image for us when coming in and you know, seeing that particular park, which is beautiful. A lot of people go in it, obviously, and with frisbees and so forth. And my suggestion would be to open it, and we'll do the best we can to enforce the social distancing. We've had a lot of requests from families, especially for the, you know, the little children's playground, which is very easy to social distance there. So if the committee would agree, and again, open up the parking lot with the pay stations need to be installed, I would suggest we open it up and give it a try. And then if it doesn't work out, we'll figure out a way to shut it back down.
Well, we can definitely have the pay stations put in this week, but as far as the park, and again, I'll kind of defer to Ryan. I think he read it, but I don't think it's having individuals out there, you know, kind of monitoring them and keeping that. But how do you just referred to the children's equipment, Mayor? Is someone going to be out there cleaning it day in and day out? I guess that's the question.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the problem. I would, you know, if you agree, I'd keep the park closed then, and I'd open up the parking lot, so at least you don't lose the, you know, the revenue for the next few weeks.
Yep. Agreed.
Any other comment on that,
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Gary?
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, we gotta be careful and follow the rules. It's nice that we all think we wanna bend the rules and open up this or open up that, but if the state hasn't given us permission to open these places up, we really shouldn't. If we bend the rules, I think that's gonna hurt us in the long run, and if something happens, they can come back and say, well, you know, Warren County, you're bending the rules, and I don't think we should do that. I really don't. I mean, as much as I would love to see everything open back up, until they say that we can, I think we really need to pull back. And I understand about the business and trying to help it, but if you can't do it, you shouldn't do it. Because I do believe that they're watching us very close.
No, that's fine with me. I just think the parking lot for sure should be opened and the barricades at each end of the road taken down and the pay stations put up. But we can do our best to keep those fences, you know, in good shape over the weekend, Kevin.
Well, you know, that's the thing. You know, you got such a tough. I mean, everybody wants to go to the village, and it's tough. And I don't want to prevent them, but boy, when they show on TV, everybody's walking down the street with these public places with no mask on. It makes it really rough. And then if you have one little spike, boy, they're going to look at the county and say, well, there you go. You didn't do what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Kevin, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I said this right along. The village is a zoo. They come a day like today, the place will be packed.
Yeah.
If you can find 3 masks in the whole village, you're lucky.
Yeah.
And
I just feel that we need to follow the rules as been set up by our committee, and we just got to work with them. I think they put a lot of work into this, and we need to make sure as leaders that we all take the initiative to support it the best we can.
I know people want to do more, but I agree with you, Kevin. If we start opening up the motels and other things that are allowed, and we let something go on like this and are chastised for it, you're jeopardizing your businesses, which are the primary concern here.
Right. It's not just that, it's the recreation stuff. You know, they say open the beaches. Now this one wants to open up, or this one has this recreation they want to open up. You know, until we get clear instructions from the state, I just think we got to say, sorry, you can't do it right now. We shouldn't be trying to bend the rules. That's my take.
We're not opening our beaches.
No, we're not opening ours either.
Okay.
There's two things. One is the 2 town beaches are tiny. Now they have large land masses supporting them, so you can get a lot of people in there, but you can't get very many people in the lake. And our lifeguards aren't going to be ready until the end of May. So
Now, we're gonna open ours in July too. We're gonna open Echo Lake in Warrensburg, but not.
we'll send everybody up there.
I got masks for 'em.
Put signs up down at Dog Beach. Go to Echo Lake.
I got masks for 'em, Dennis.
All right, so are we understanding that we will not open the park, but we will open the parking lots? Because people are coming anyway, might as well get some revenue from that. I don't think that shows any, breaking the rules. If they're gonna come, they're gonna come. Leave the park closed.
Hey, Mayor, I had a question for you while you're on there. Are you fencing in Shepherd Park?
Yes, it's already fenced in and we did it today.
Excellent. Okay.
That's the only way we can control. I also called the state and asked them if they're going to open up $1 Million Beach because the governor did announce the beaches were going to be open, and they said no, they are not opening up $1 Million Beach, and they are not opening up the parking lot, and they're going to watch Dog Beach, which is what they usually do.
Well, they told me yesterday that they're going to put up a fence from the $1 Million Beach to the town village line.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Yep,
So
that makes sense.
If that was your idea, because I wanted to make sure you weren't interfering again.
No, we're fine.
Yeah, good. Okay. So far, we're on the same page.
All right, so is that the consensus? We're gonna leave the park closed, right? And I just make sure everybody agrees with that?
Yeah, we'll do our best to maintain those fences and keep the people out of there. Yep.
Kevin, you got anything else going here?
I don't have anything further, Chairman.
All right, privilege to the floor, or Mr. Lehman, any comments coming on that?
Chairman Merlino, no, we have not had any commentary or questions.
Okay, thank you. A motion adjourned.
So move.
Who else is up there? Dennis, yes. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.